Hey y'all, welcome back to All the Things podcast where we talk about all the things fitness, health, and lifestyle. Today's guest is someone who radiates purpose, faith, and truth even when life is coming at her. Ma'am.
Oh. Hi, I'm Mel. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So get ready to fall in love with her. Mel's passionate about self-love, healing, showing up for people without needing a platform to prove that worth. Her mission is simple but powerful. And today's episode is for the women who are healing and who's finding themselves again. So I hope you guys love that. And a reminder that purpose doesn't require perfection. So let's jump right into our episode. So one of the things you shared with me was how passionate you are about self-love and self-respect. And let's be real, that's something that so many women struggle with. So to rebuild after going through so much, I want to ask a couple questions around that. So how would you describe your self-love journey?
Ooh. Roller coaster.
Okay.
I think I feel like I had more downs than up. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because right now I think I'm finally hitting the up. That right before you hit those falls and those waves. So it's been a very telling journey.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was also repeated lessons in this journey that I've had to learn from the past.
I love that. And to be fair, I feel like some people, when we are like on the down part of the roller coaster, some people struggle with being in the depths of the roller coaster. But if you even think about school, you don't learn nothing without a lesson. And so It's like there's lessons in everything, and then you come back on top. So I love that you're on the peak of it.
Right. See, it's funny. There's when you said that in the depths of it, because when you're in the depths of it, that's where everything is just like. Everything is falling apart. You're never gonna make it. Why you? And literally, and if I'm honest, those are the moments where I find me and God again.
Absolutely.
Find myself within God, God within me, etc. And I feel like that's why I'm grateful. It's painful. That's why I'm grateful.
Yeah.
For everything I have overcome.
I love that. I feel like God always brings us back. Like it's almost like. When that happens, he wants us to come back. He wants us crawling back because he never left. We left him. So
right.
I love that. So was there a moment you realized you had to start treating yourself differently?
Ooh. I mean, I heard you saying that. I just had to throw in the ooh because I'm like, ooh, that's a good one right there. Ooh, yes. Say that question again, because the way that I just even like it hit me, and then I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
But say that again.
So was there ever a moment where you feel like you had to like treat yourself differently?
Yes. Wow. There's a few moments, but I think the moment when you start to question if you should be here,
mm-hmm.
if you should be alive, or if you should just go ahead and say, hey, I think I'm better off not being here. I think that's where I realized that I need to start treating myself differently, because how you allow other people to treat you is how they view you, and what you allow is. Am I saying that right? Yeah, like what you allow is how they're going to treat you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one. There's been a few times where my self-worth, my self-respect, yeah, and I allowed that to make me think that I didn't belong here.
Mm.
And I think when it got to that point, I'm like,
what am I doing?
What am I saying?
Yeah, and it is those moments too. Like I've had those moments too, where I'm just like, I'm more of like I can run away. Like I'm just gonna pack up, I'm just gonna take off, and that's in the same type of like, I think realm. Like why am I taking off? I'm worth being here. I'm worth tackling this. I'm worth finding this and that, and in the depths of it. So I love that. So what does self-respect look like in your everyday life now? Definitely since you're on the peak of it.
I am on the peak of it. Nothing that I don't have my days where I feel like the roller coaster is about to start going down, right? But on a day-to-day basis, I think that's where fitness plays its role. And I mean, granted, I think we get caught up with thinking that we need to just be working on our bodies and not everything else around that. But that's getting up early, like actually I am a morning person, but that 6 a.m. person, That's a different person.
Yeah.
It's a different person, but that
I've tried so many times.
I finally got a Bible like recently, so like actually being in the Word now, because I used to be the person to say I don't have to read the Bible because the Bible's been written so many times or whatever, and if the Bible believes it, because I had heard that the Bible would say stuff that didn't make sense to me because I know God is a loving God, right? So I'll be like, there's no way that it says that, but I mean that's another story. And then I started actually being like, no, I need to be in my Word so that I can. The way that I speak and what I do say, whether it's on my videos that I make, it could only be better if I read more of it. And I feel like that's another way that looks like for me every day. The Bible, taking care of myself, sorry, eating healthy, removing myself from the things that don't serve me. That's even like whether unfollowing things on social media, that's friends, and that's a really big one because what you consume is really what you're going to start seeing, is what's going to rotate in your mind all the time, the people you surround yourself with, like all of that really is true. And I think as the older you get, you start to realize
Absolutely, you are
how much that affects you. Yeah.
Okay, so perfect, love that. So for someone listening who feels broken or like stuck, what is the first steps towards self-love? Like what would you tell them, like are steps even 1, 2, and 3?
And they feel broken. Ooh, see, and I don't like pushing God on nobody, right? But I feel like you have to believe in something, right? Oh, sorry. Okay, I would say like the first step is, this is very interesting, something I'm about to bring up. Analyzing the situation. I think sometimes we over-exaggerate, over-stress what our situations really are. You know that saying, it could be worse? That really is true, and there's a reason why you need to apply that in your life, because that's where gratefulness comes in. That's where you start to realize the little things that are your blessings, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So analyzing that first. 2, I think I would say, I mean, again, I have to say God, because that's what's helped me.
And speak from your heart.
Yeah, that's what helped me all this time. And again, all my downfalls have always brought me back to God, because that's what God was definitely trying to do. So I would say God, and I think my third step is my purpose, or your purpose. I would say that. Whether it's your kids, whether it's your business, whether it's something you're really passionate about, as long as you're not hurting anybody. And some people don't know what their purpose is, right? But that's where the step 2 comes in, because when you find that, you find your purpose. I would give those first 3.
I love that. I love that. What I love about your journey is that you didn't like do it alone. So now that you're talking about God, your faith clearly played a huge part in your healing.
Yes.
I deeply respect that, how you live in your faith. Your energy makes people feel seen and not judged at all. And that is beautiful, definitely, when you're speaking about faith and speaking about God. So how did your relationship with God, help you through your hard seasons?
Help me through my hard seasons. Wow. I feel like I say that's every question you ask. Okay, so God is good, I'll tell you that. So how it helped me through my all the time, guys. You gotta finish it.
Yeah, every time.
God helped me through my seasons by, when you ask, you shall receive. Maybe not on your time, but it does. And prayer, and I think, and having people that He sends me who really see me, or things that I wouldn't even say, even just like the little thing that you were just saying, like I would never think that, and then you saying that just kind of reignites why I do what I do, right? So just how He shows up for me, even on a day-to-day basis. Like I've gone through some stuff, and we all go through some stuff, and yet He's never left me. He's always given me a solution, right? It may not be $1 million, but He's giving me 1 million blessings.
Absolutely.
So yeah, He's definitely has not left me.
Yeah, and
even when He should have.
But He never will. And that's
Never
the
will.
thing.
Never
That's
will.
the thing. And I love that. So what does your faith look like in your everyday life?
Everyday life. So every morning, this is how I start my day. I go like this, thank you, Lord, for another day, because I have God sitting on my dresser with my with my grandfather. I do one of those, and then I go and I read the verse of the day, and then I go through that, go through the prayer, go through that little sermon, and then I post it online. And I post it. I really don't speak to anybody right until I do all that.
Right.
So, and I started making that a thing because I feel like the first thing I need to be doing is thanking God regardless. So I do that first, and I put the word out there first, and the motivational stuff to come after that, so that those who are getting up and those who look for it, from what I've heard, have it ready to go, ready to start their day. So this is my intention is to be the light in a dark space. That's why I make sure I do that every day. And the hard part is that even on my bad days, when I don't want to do it at all, I start to think, is this for you? Is this
right? Somebody might be looking for it.
Well, yeah, you gotta put that aside. It's not about you. It's about God. So yeah, so I do that. That's the first things, and then praying. And this is really not like a day-to-day thing, but I keep God with me. I have it on my chest as well, but I also, like on my necklace, but I also have like this little picture thing that my mom gave me, because when she goes to our country, she goes and gets things blessed for me. So I have that, and I keep it with my wallet at all times. And Bible every day, because I'm trying to get to something new that I'm doing now, though, so reading the Bible every day. And gospel music in the morning, that's my motivational starter. That's what we gotta. Hey Alexa, play Maverick City music, and that's how we start the morning.
I love that.
So yeah, that's a daily thing for me.
I love that. Absolutely love that. Okay, awesome. So, saying that you start your day with it, I love that. It's like you put him first, and it's like you're giving him like glory and grace. Not grace. He gives us grace. You're giving him the glory, and I absolutely love that. I feel like I even need to do better with that. I kind of wake up and I give all glory to this phone, and I feel like that I need to do myself. So I love that. Absolutely love that you're putting that first. And I struggle with that. Like, there was a moment in my life where I had like Bible study every week, and it was like giving me like a lot of time to focus. Then when that fell short, I kind of fell short. And it was like, I still give grace to God. Like, I still, even in my darkest days, thank him for everything that I have going on, because he doesn't have to wake us up.
Sure.
But I love that when you do wake up, you give glory to him for waking up, which is amazing. So, for people who have fallen from faith or feel unworthy of it, like, what would you say to them?
They feel unworthy of faith, of having faith in God.
Yeah, like, are they just falling short from God, or, what would you say to them?
We all fall short of God's grace, honey. I also had that real talk with myself, because I think that when I do something or something happens and I fall short of God's grace, I'm very hard on myself. But I think even the most holier than thou fall short of God's grace. So I think understanding that no matter what you do, you can't make him love you more. You can't make him love you less. You can't make him You can't make him anything, because he literally died for you. It's like for all the things that he already knows you have done, will do, and all of that. And I also, there's a caveat to that. I do also say, just because we are granted forgiveness does not mean that you should go and sin, right? It doesn't mean like, oh, God will forgive me, I'll be fine, I'll go think about it on Sunday. That's not how that works. Now you're mocking God. Now you're making fun of it, right? Because God forbid you have to answer to God the next day. I'm sure you will be regretting that moment, right? So, and you never know when your day is, what your judgment day is, right? So, I would say you're not meant to be perfect. You can strive to be better. I think when you start thinking about God's love and how God is with you and what God, all that he endured, right? Like, you start to think about that, and you're just like, damn, you went through all that, and look how you were.
Yeah.
And we're talking about God who could have done anything, right?
Right.
And chose not to. He went. They all had their moments, right? But not in the way that the way we go carelessly about life these days. But I think believing that, and I think once you start focusing more on God's love versus the sin, and which is what I'm learning too, versus like, how am I gonna do this? God don't care about me, or my faith is. I'm not doing what I need to be doing. God doesn't care. Or I'll be fine. Also, like those little things that we say to kind of get through our days to think that we're gonna be fine. I think it's just more so understanding that you're gonna mess up. But if God gives you the next day to do better, the next hour to do better, I suggest you take it on and do better.
I love that. I love that. You are truly like living in your purpose, and I feel like that's what makes your voice so powerful. So I absolutely love that. I know you said that you're not here to promote anything or push your brand or anything. You just want to, help people feel less alone. And honestly, that is like the realest kind of purpose, and that's why your voice, I feel like, is so loud. Even if you not are like vocally loud, like what you say and what you do is so powerful. How do you stay grounded in that purpose when the world is so focused on being seen?
My purpose, right? And say, if I was to die tomorrow, did I help somebody? Did I do what I said I wanted to do when I got back on social media? 'Cause I didn't have social media all through like college, except for like the last like senior year, and then I got back on it because I was trying to see like where like I had that beginning like, oh, the likes. So when I first started getting on social media, at first it was like, oh, the likes and oh, the little validation here and there, but at that time I wasn't doing social media the way I'm doing it now. And then just as time goes on, I just realized like there's so much negativity on social media. Everybody's half naked. Everybody just whatever it is, and whatever the motive is, really more so what it was. I was just like, I don't want to be that. I want to bring something different. And I just felt like people needed more positivity, and so I've been doing that for a long time now. And I think it just started to go from there with the videos. But I think that's where my tattoos come in a lot, like the stay strong, to keep going, be your own kind of beauty. Trust God. That really helps me in staying grounded and remembering, what are you doing this for? Are you doing it to be seen? Because if you're doing it to be seen, you're gonna get unwanted attention, and God gonna remind you this is not what you're supposed to be using His word for.
That you
right,
want.
exactly. And I'm not trying to. The purpose is to help somebody. I don't care if it's one person. I don't care if it's two people. I don't care if it's 10,000 people. Whatever it is, that's a jump from 1 to 2. But I want to leave this world knowing that I impacted somebody. And so staying grounded is really just reminding myself of knowing that people need it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like what I was saying about when I don't feel like I want to be seen, in the sense of like, I don't want people to know, oh, look, there's Mel, she's posted today, she must be good. That's a lot of times I'm not, right? And it's like, but it's not about me. It's about whoever's searching, waking up that morning like, oh, let me get on Mel's story to see,
Right.
And then I don't do it. Why? Because I'm having a bad day, or I'm in my feelings about something, when it's not about me. So,
right.
And why do that when there could be somebody who's contemplating with suicide or something? That's been me. So it's like, why take that away from somebody that day?
I love that.
So I try to make it very as selfless as possible. Yeah, there's pictures of me and my fitness, because a lot of health has a lot to do with that aspect of my life. But as far as keeping myself grounded and remembering why I'm here, because I'm here for something, and I feel like when I do make those videos that we're talking about, they kind of just come to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I have it laid out. I'm going to talk about this today. It never works for me that way, actually. That's kind of when it doesn't work out the best way. It's literally when I just like, oh, something's going on here. I remember actually, when I first started posting those the verses every day, or like the motivational post every day, I would think, what if I see people going through today? Like, I would just pay attention to the social media posts and like, I see somebody talking about this. I saw somebody talking about this.
Because you can read people off.
I could read,
stories,
and like I would pick up on the energy, and then I would go, and then I would like the positivity, the post, or the motivational words, the verse would just come to me.
Mm-hmm.
I just come, and I'm like, that's it. That's what needs to be said today. So. That answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. It actually goes right into my next question. Like, do you remember a time when someone told you your words helped them?
Oh, yes. I am grateful. I don't ever post usually like that. Like when somebody writes me about that, I do get that pretty often. And I say often, like I get it every day. It's not every day, but when I do get it, it touches me differently. It lets me know that people really needed it. And people always say.
Okay. So you were saying that like people will reach out to you, and of course you don't post it or anything like that. Like, you remember a certain person or time where they did reach out to you because of what you're doing? Like, remember a time when someone told you that you helped them?
Yeah. Trying to think, like, there's a specific one that caught me the most. I know there's one of I call her a friend, and I know her mom is dealing with a health condition right now that kind of just came out of nowhere and has just progressed. And I know she has always shared with me how, it's really difficult being a caregiver for a parent, especially just when you see that there is no cure for this specific thing, and just the grace of her doing that by herself, like, and I can imagine you trying to manage your own life, and then your mom at that is like so dependent on you, and she's an amazing daughter, is just so selfless and caring, and I remember she was just telling me how thankful she was for my words, and just like how it speaks life into her, and I hope I'm still using the right words that she had said to me, if she does see this, but that was one of I get there's even those people, like the ones that write me and say like they were contemplating suicide, or if that's, I don't know if we can say that on here, and how my words helped them that day, or like they were having a really bad day, or they just weren't gonna go work out, or they weren't gonna go and do something, and just whatever I said that day was exactly what they needed. And I think that gets me the most, when someone said that's exactly what I need to hear today. And remember how I said I don't practice this beforehand, and I feel like when that happens and those things align for whoever needs to hear it, and maybe that day I was like, no, let me not say anybody wants to hear me talk today, right? Like, who cares? And then I get that, then I'm like, you need to stop doing that, because somebody is needing to hear this. Like, I don't care for those people who have to say like, oh, people be quiet, everybody's always gonna go to something like be quiet and get it done, whatever. Yeah, but there's people who really need to hear.
Absolutely.
And they need to see like people who they, not want to say idealize or anything like that, but people that they look on social media and they're like, oh, she must have like, or he must have all these things together, and then you hear, you hear this other side, and they're explaining something, or they're, whether it's relatable or whether it's just in general or whatever I'm saying or whoever, and you're like, they're just normal people, and they also go through things, and look how they're navigating, look how they're dealing with it, or whatever it is. So yeah, when I get those, it reminds me that I should keep doing what I'm doing.
I love that.
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of like, have you ever gone to church and you feel like the pastor is literally talking to you?
Yeah.
It's like, it's kind of like the same thing. Like,
That's happened.
Yeah.
That's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you, and they were saying our phones can hear us. It's actually what, like, I'll have those moments a lot. Like, I'll be going through something, dealing with something, or feeling something, or praying to God about something, and boom, there goes a sermon with those little clips that are they're on my algorithm, and I'm like, okay, I hear you.
You hear me.
You hear me, or it'll be the verse of the day, like, what does that verse just say? Wasn't I just dealing with? So it's he hears you.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. I love that. So, what do you want someone that's listening to take away from your story?
Ooh, to take away from my story, wow. To never lose hope, never lose faith. That you only need to have, and I say this all the time, the faith of a mustard seed, which is literally like this big. To take away that it's okay not to be okay, but don't stay in that feeling of not being okay.
Don't sit in it.
Don't sit in it. You are worthy. You are deserving of all good things. More so, I would say, if you're a good person, right? And I hate to say it that way, but it's true. Like, if you're a bad person, then what do you really expect? All good things will come back to you. Don't change your heart because other people abused it or don't see it, or etc. And you don't have to be the baddest thing with the biggest whatever. None of that matters.
Right, for sure.
None of that matters.
With social media, so many people get lost in that.
Yes, be in your own lane.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't push God on nobody, but I will say that I hope people find that, find that healing, because I wouldn't be here after things of that children should not go through that I've been through, or as of breakups and the avenues of disrespect and that went through, and then all these things that I've gone through, and I wouldn't be here without God. I wouldn't be here without those days of telling God, please just get me through this.
Yeah.
And He got me through it.
Absolutely.
So, I would say to take away from our message, to always be kind, to don't let nobody dim your light. Get close to God. That's going to save you from a lot of things.
Absolutely. He is our shield for sure. I love
Yeah.
that. So you also mentioned that you are intentional about what you say and you keep private. I think that's such a healthy boundary, definitely with the world we live in. Everybody posts everything. Sometimes I'm even a victim of it. I'm like, look what I just ate.
Look what I just ate.
Look what I just did. That's why, sometimes, my story, I'll post something and in 5 minutes it's gone because I'm a different person at that moment. I look at
I do that too.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend 24 hours.
Absolutely not. If it got to go, it got to go. So let's talk about privacy and healing. And so it's easy to feel like you have to post everything to prove you're doing the work, whereas if it's the workout or it's working or living up to a lifestyle, definitely with the world that we live in, but you've shown that healing can still happen behind the scenes. How do you decide what parts of your journey or even what parts of your life that you are going to post and what parts of them that you decide to keep to yourself?
Intention. I think that's the big word there that I want to use. And I'm trying to be more intentional about what I post. Because there's things I'm like I said, I don't work for 24. I'm like, nah, it's cool. We don't need all that. But it's surprising. Even with let's say just for example, if I went through a breakup or whatever, because people feel like they know everything these days. So if no one's ever seen me post anything where you can be like, dang, you see what she said?
Yeah,
right? That's very private, very I will heal inside. I may post a lot of lover girl stuff because that's just how it is and that's how I am. But I try to be very intentional with what I post, and sometimes too much. I for example, how many wars we got going on right now? What's all that's going on in this world right now? I don't really post those things, and yes, right. And I don't do that, and it's not because I don't care for I will post certain the posters are going on if it's something those kind of things for people to go and support whatever. But I'm not gonna sit there and start putting my opinions and my beliefs on there about it because the world we already doing that too much on the news every day, which is what the news wants you to do. I'm not here for that. I just trying to put out more of the positive side of the things. Because the negative, you can go to anywhere and see that. You don't need to come to my page and see it more of that.
Right. We had another stop because at this point, it needs to be very much obvious as to why we keep cutting. So yeah, you were talking about being intentional about what it is that you post.
Yes. So not doing the political stuff, not because I don't care, not because I don't. It's not that. I'm more on the right side than anything else. It's just more so. I'm not here to put more stress. It's already stressful enough. Our jobs. What's going on in the news and our lives and how it affects everybody differently and etc. My job, my job is already stressful. I don't need to go on social media and start posting Papa Trump and whoever. We don't. I don't. We don't need to do all that.
I love that you think about that with intention though, because to go back to your actual purpose, when you thinking about you might wake up one day and I don't feel like doing it, but you do it because someone may need it. Mm-hmm. How many times have we found out who someone we love have political beliefs? And it's now I can't fuck with you no more because I don't agree with what you're thinking. And it's sometimes it's just nice to have someone who is just here so they can continue to get that work because you have a bigger purpose. So that's
right. And it's not about. At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, it's really not.
God was around a whole bunch of people and still treated them the same.
That didn't even believe
in them.
Yeah.
You see him casting them and with their, putting out those stones on those people. I mean, in his own way, when your judgment. But
yeah,
I'm not here to do that. And it's not saying that because I don't believe in this or I believe in this more and I think this is right. It's not that. You can ask me personally and I'll tell you, but it's just more so. I just want what I'm doing, whatever it is that you find peace in it. Not that you, or a laughter or something, not, there goes another person posting about the same thing.
So do you feel then, with your healing journey even, do you feel you make sure you don't post intentionally even the same type of way? Or how do you dictate if you are having a bad day. I see that you post a lot of positive, like everything.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are having a bad day, what makes you maybe not sway to posting even today's just not a great day?
I don't want to say it's a perception of what somebody else is gonna do. I don't want to say that. I know it sounds like I was about to say that. I'm not saying I never had almost a crash out moment.
Yeah.
But I will say that thanks to someone very specifically that they saw it before anybody else could, and it was actually a very bad moment in my relationship. And they were like, "Take this off right now. This is not you. You don't do this. Don't let that get to you." Nobody ever saw. Nobody would ever know because it never got out there. But it's how to.
I almost feel like I have your answer in so many ways because it's like I feel like you do really well at like posting positive. You said it one day. I'm not knowing the exact words that you said, but you have to speak it into existence. And so even if you're having a bad day, if you start posting, because I'm even good at that, posting, oh, today sucks, whatever, that I may or may not post, but it's kind of like I'm sitting in it. And it's like you're choosing to not sit in it.
And I don't complain.
Yeah.
Because I know it could be better. There's so many people going through so many things.
It could be worse.
It could be worse.
Yeah.
And what do you get out of coming to my page where I'm here is looking like I'm crashing out or whatever? When I already put out a different, like, what I put out there is literally how I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's just an everyday thing. I'm not saying that I never have a bad moment. I have bad moments. But I'm not going to go and post that when I know the difference between have a moment, be quiet, sit in it, go talk to God about it.